16,000 wives. Let that number sink in for a moment. When people hear this about Krishna, they either laugh it off as mythology or get deeply uncomfortable. Some use it to mock Hinduism, others try to justify it awkwardly. But almost nobody knows the real story behind those 16,000 women. And when you hear the truth, everything you thought you knew about Krishna changes completely. In today's world, when we hear 16,000 wives, our minds immediately go to one place: a powerful man exploiting women for pleasure. That's the lens we're looking through. But that lens is completely wrong for understanding what actually happened. Here's the real story. There was a demon king named Narakasura who ruled a kingdom with absolute terror. His specialty? Kidnapping princesses and daughters of kings from across India. He would raid kingdoms, capture young women, and imprison them in his palace. These weren't willing companions. They were hostages, prisoners, traumatized survivors of abduction, living in constant fear. By the time Krishna defeated Narakasura in battle, there were 16,100 women imprisoned in that palace. Think about that for a second. 16,000 women stolen from their families, their futures destroyed, their dignity shattered. Now here's where it gets crucial. In ancient India, if a woman was kidnapped and held captive by another man, society considered her impure. Even if nothing happened to her, her own family wouldn't take her back. No man would marry her. She would be rejected, ostracized, left to survive alone in a world with no safety net for women. Krishna faced a choice. He could free these women and leave them to face social death, or he could do something radical. He married them, all of them. But here's what nobody tells you. These weren't marriages in the way we understand the term. Krishna gave each woman her own palace, her own household, her own dignity and protection under his name. He restored their social standing overnight. A woman who was considered ruined yesterday was now a queen today. In chapter 7, verse 11 of the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, "I am strength in the strong that is free from attachment and desire, contrary to Dharma." This wasn't about desire. This was about Dharma, protecting those who had no protection. Think about what this meant practically. Krishna already had 8 principal wives, including Rukmini and Satyabhama, whom he loved deeply. Adding 16,000 more wives wasn't expanding his pleasure. It was expanding his responsibility. Each woman received royal status, financial security, and most importantly, social acceptance in a society that would have otherwise destroyed them. Here's the part that proves this wasn't about exploitation. According to the texts, Krishna used his yogic power to expand himself, appearing simultaneously in each of the 16,000 palaces, giving each woman the experience of a complete household, not for physical pleasure, but so none of them felt abandoned or secondary. This is the difference between power used for exploitation versus power used for protection. Compare this to actual historical rulers. Kings who kept harems of women as property, as entertainment, as conquest to display their dominance. That's exploitation. Krishna's act was the opposite. It was restoration of dignity through divine intervention. In chapter 9, verse 29, Krishna reveals his nature. "I am equal to all beings. None are dear to me, nor do I hate anyone." He wasn't collecting women. He was collecting broken lives and making them whole again. The women Krishna married weren't wives in the romantic sense. They were survivors he chose to protect when nobody else would. Here's the uncomfortable truth. We judge ancient actions through modern frameworks and miss the actual morality of the situation. In that time and context, what Krishna did was the most progressive, compassionate response possible. He used his position not to exploit vulnerability, but to eliminate it. The real question isn't, why did Krishna have 16,000 wives? The real question is, why was Krishna the only one willing to protect 16,000 women when everyone else abandoned them? This story isn't about justifying polygamy or normalizing excess. It's about understanding that true power shows itself in protection, not possession. Krishna could have taken credit, could have left them to their fate, could have done the socially easy thing. Instead, he did the dharmic thing, the right thing that required sacrifice, not satisfaction. When you understand this, you stop seeing Krishna as a figure of mythology and start seeing him as a revolutionary who challenged social evil in the most direct way possible. The 16,000 wives aren't a scandal. They're a testament to what leadership looks like when it serves the vulnerable instead of exploiting them. If this changed your perspective, comment what you previously thought versus what you understand now. Subscribe for more truths that challenge surface-level judgments. Remember, real stories are always deeper than the headlines.